Thursday, January 29th, 2026. Today on Bold and the Beautiful, Will opens up to Dylan. Electra admits her worries about Will to Steffi, and Ivy continues to spy. Read the last B&B recap. Ivy was appalled by the impropriety when she caught Dylan in Will's lap. Shaking her head, Ivy looks in the window of the beach house as Dylan climbs off Will's lap, apologizes for falling on him. He assures her it's okay, and he thinks she's an amazing dancer. As she checks that Hayes is sleeping, he steps outside to shower off after a quick dip. Ivy watches from the bushes as they chat. He tells Dylan how great night swimming is and assures her of how safe it. "You never want to miss out on incredible experiences," he tells her. Dylan and Will go inside and sit by the fire as Ivy returns to watching through the window. Dylan asks Will about his childhood. He talks about being sent away to boarding school and being isolated from the family. His parents were apart more than together, and his dad left his wife for her sister. Will chokes up talking about his parents. He loves his dad and wants his parents together. It's not good for Bill to be alone. Dylan touches his arm, and he admits he hasn't been able to talk about the hard things with Electra. She pulls back and says it's easier to talk to someone he's not emotionally invested in. He admits he feels terrible for all he's put Electra through. Dylan feels for him. What Luna did to him was twisted. He thanks her for that. Luna took advantage of him, but Will is always good, he says. Electra is who you have to feel sorry for. When he told her about Luna being pregnant with his child, Dylan admits she has nightmares about running Luna down and how much worse it would have been if she were still pregnant. He tells her not to feel that way. The baby was already gone. Will assures her there was nothing redeemable about Luna, and he's glad she's gone. Will tells her she's a good person, and he's glad she's there. Ivy shakes her head. Finn texts to say he will be there first thing in the morning. They chat about Dylan still looking for a job and joke she should become a therapist. Ivy gasps when she sees them laughing. Will continues giving a pep talk and reminding her of how creative she is. When she says she's a daredevil, he teases AR about not taking a night swim. He goes off to check on Hayes, urging her to run out for a dip. When he returns, he finds her showering off after a swim. She admits it was incredible. He says she's a daredevil after all. "It's not proper at all," Ivy grumbles to herself in the bushes. Will thanks Dylan for all her help and warns he may come looking for her if Hayes wakes up in Tay night. All of this reinforces for her what a caring guy he is. He gives Electra the credit. Dylan appreciates his taste in women. In San Francisco, Steffi and Electra drink wine. She misses her kids, but is sure they are all fine. Electra is sure that Hayes will have a great time spending the night with her friend and boyfriend. They discuss what a cutie Will is, and Steffi hopes Dylan knows what's appropriate. Electra admits she's worried about Will at work because he's a Spencer. Steffi thinks that's sweet. It sounds like she loves Tay Guy. They continue to chat about Will, and Electra wishes she could cuddle up with him, but he's with Dylan. She repeats that it's okay for one night. Ivy certainly disagrees. Back at the beach house, Ivy storms into Dylan's apartment. She's not surprised the door is unlocked and jokes she should have the red light on. Dylan is baffled. Ivy declares she saw everything and knows what she's up to. She won't let her steal Electra's boyfriend. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that some wedding crash or chaos could be in the works. Will an uninvited guest derail Daphne Rose and Carter Walton's big day? Carter and Daphne aren't exactly the most exciting couple on canvas. This pairing has always felt a bit thrown together without a lot of substance to back up their love. Of course, that's nothing new for Carter, who seems to fall hard for just about any lovely lady who crosses his path. Nevertheless, Carter claims it's different this time around, and that Daphne is the only woman for him. Unfortunately, B&B has now given Carter and Daphne a dull wedding location too. Carter suggested getting married in the Forrester showroom, which is disappointing since fans already see that set all the time. It would have been nicer if the show had delivered a more intriguing wedding venue, but the decision has been made. On the bright side, there's still room for some drama to happen at the ceremony itself. Everything feels a little too easy for Carter and Daphne when it comes to the bright future they're planning. Some obstacles are going to land in Daphne and Carter's way sooner or later, so maybe the trouble could start with a wedding crasher. There was supposed to be a storyline last fall about someone from Daphne's past coming back into the picture. Daphne's world was poised to get turned upside down, but the story was either scrapped or delayed. If it was just a case of B&B postponing Daphne's past shocker, then maybe her wedding could bring someone to Los Angeles. We could certainly imagine a former flame barging in and objecting, or an estranged relative popping up to witness the nuptials. We know that Carter and Daphne will successfully tie the knot, but there could still be a curveball or two on their wedding day. It'd be great to see some excitement for Daphne and Carter, since not much is happening for them at the moment. Carter and Daphne may also face some infertility issues based on some hints that are dropping, so their relationship will be tested down the road. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Daphne and Carter have some unpleasant surprises coming up, so we'll bring you updates on any horrible news ahead. In the January 29th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Will did something he's never done with Elektra before. He opened up to Dylan about the trauma that Luna caused in his life. He felt like a burden in Elektra's life because of everything that had unfolded over the last few months. Dylan and Will trauma bonded while Ivy watched them through the window. Will got vulnerable and opened up to Dylan about Elektra and Luna. He blames himself for what had happened. Luna tried to tear them apart for months, but Will finally came to terms with what happened. Luna got him drunk and took advantage of him. Because of everything that happened afterward, Will felt like a burden in Elektra's life. He still blames himself for all the pain she's gone through. Dylan assured him that he shouldn't blame himself. He was a victim of Luna's crimes. The two trauma bonded over the chaos that Luna caused in Los Angeles. Dylan is as much of a victim as Will was. Luna kept her locked in a closet while she tried to shoot Steffi at Hayes' school. Will admitted to Dylan that he's never opened up to Elektra like this before. He's just grateful that he finally has people in his life that he can count on. One of those people includes Dylan. He could tell how good a person she is. Ivy doesn't think Will and Dylan's living arrangement is proper. She's uttered it many times, especially as she spied on them through the window. Ivy doesn't want to admit it, but she thinks Elektra deserves someone better than Will. She knows what Spencer men are like, after all. Ivy was romantically involved with Liam when he was already entangled in a complicated web involving Steffi and Hope. She is probably harboring a grudge against all of them. Later in the episode, Ivy entered the guest house and confronted Dylan. She told her to stop trying to steal her friend's boyfriend. It's likely that Ivy will inform Elektra about what happened, which won't help matters. Things are about to get even more complicated for Will and Elektra, no matter how they feel about each other. Will has his work already cut out for him. He'll have to keep convincing Elektra that he loves her. He already feels like he's a burden in her life, but it's clear that he's much more comfortable with someone like Dylan. He feels seen and understood. Most importantly, Will feels like himself around Dylan. We can see the young lovers growing distant as Will and Dylan grow even closer. How far will they go? Hope Logan seems to forget on The Bold and the Beautiful that she's the odd woman out at Forrester Creations. As a matter of fact, her entire career is pretty much determined by Steffi Forrester's mood that day. And Queen Steffi is not going to be happy when she busts Hope Logan meddling in her mother's love life. Will Hope Logan's meddling in the Sheila Deacon Taylor love triangle cost her everything she has worked for? Keep reading to find out. Here's what's coming up next on B&B. Spoilers down below. Hope Logan wants the best for her father, Deacon Sharp, and that means finding him a new wife. Hope was thrilled when she learned that her father had feelings for his therapist, Taylor Hayes. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Deacon's daughter visited Steffi Forrester's mother at her office and begged her to give him a chance. Then she urged her dad, Deacon, to follow his heart and go hit the sheets with his therapist. Hope is determined to get Deacon and Taylor together and get Sheila Carter out of his life for good. There's only one problem. Queen Steffi already laid down the law and forbade Taylor and Deacon from being together. Dating Deacon could cost Taylor her life, and as far as Steffi's concerned, it's not worth it. Steffi and Hope have been on good terms for an impressive amount of time, but that is all going to change next month. Steffi will be seeing red that Hope went behind her back and tried to talk Taylor into being with her father. It's safe to say the women's truce is officially over. Will Steffi hit Hope where it hurts and sideline her at Forrester Creations again? Is Steffi petty enough to shut HFTF to get back at her stepsister for meddling in her mom's love life? Valentine's Day is right around the corner on The Bold and the Beautiful. And that means that love will be in the air at Forrester Creations. On top of the V-Day frenzy, the Forresters will also be in wedding mode. Will Thomas be able to make it through the holiday single without getting caught up the all of the romance? Here's what's coming up next month on The Bold and the Beautiful for Valentine's Day. Keep reading for all the details. Thomas Forrester has been on his best behavior since he returned to work on Hope for the Future. But will he get hit with Cupid's arrow and decide he's in love with Hope Logan again? Nobody believed he was over Hope. To be honest, we never thought the duo would have lasted this long in the HFTF design room without Thomas trying to flirt with his ex. When Thomas came back to work, Hope Logan was skeptical because of their history. The Forrester heir swore he just wanted to finish what he started with Hope for the Future and wasn't interested in Liam's wife. So far, so good, but spoilers hint that could all change in February. It's impossible to not get caught up in the excitement of Valentine's Day, with all of the hearts, bouquets, and chocolates being passed around. Everyone at the office will be coupled up, except for poor Thomas Forrester. No one believes that he's really over Hope Logan. He's just a good actor. Is he just waiting for the perfect moment to make his move? With Liam Spencer busy working late house helping Beatty set up their new company, Hope might start to feel a little neglected. If she ends up burning the late-night oil at the office with Thomas Forrester on Valentine's Day, anything could happen. Do you think that Thomas is really over Hope Logan? Or will he get hit with Cupid's arrow and profess his love for his ex on Valentine's Day? Will Hope be able to stay loyal to her husband this time around? The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for the week of February 2nd, suggest some twists. For one thing, Ivy Forrester will try to push Dylan out of Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Steffi Forrester Finnegan could realize Taylor Hayes is getting even closer to Deacon Sharp. Keep reading to find out what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Ivy, who busts Dylan on Will Spencer's lap at the beach house. The woman can't believe what she saw when peering into the windows. Although she had a bad feeling about Dylan, she never expected to see that. Of course, fans know that Dylan was dancing for Will, but tripped. That is when she fell on Will's lap. Ivy is missing a bit of context here, which could negatively affect Electra Forrester's relationship. Will truly believes that Dylan is a kind and good person. So, he might think that Ivy is really overstepping. When Electra comes back to Los Angeles, she will hear all about what Ivy witnessed. However, Will might have a totally different story, and so will Dylan. They will insist that it was innocent, and they weren't doing anything wrong. However, this could have Electra blowing up and running off. It would be easy to see RJ Forrester comforting Electra. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the next episode reveal that Steffi will freak out over her mother. Steffi has told Taylor repeatedly to stop seeing Deacon. However, Taylor and Deacon can't seem to keep away from each other. Everyone will try to protect Taylor by keeping the truth from Sheila Carter Sharp. So far, Sheila keeps gushing about Taylor saving her marriage. However, at some point, she is going to see, hear, or suspect something. There is also Eric Forrester, who is secretly working for Katie Logan Spencer. Eric is going to make sure that Katie's fashion house is a success right out the gate. However, this will cause a family war. Just wait until Brooke Logan Forrester and Ridge Forrester learn about the latest betrayal to their family legacy. How do you think Bridge will react when they learn about Katie's new lead designer? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of February 2nd, 2026? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. When Ivy returned to The Bold and the Beautiful, she brought her niece Electra. Ivy has become a mentor to Electra, both at work and her personal life. Ivy and Electra have a strong bond, and some fans suspect it might go deeper than aunt and niece. Ivy and Electra have become quite the duo on B&B. The aunt and niece are Forrester Creations' leading jewelry designers, and their lines have become a success. But when they're not busy designing, most of the time they're discussing Electra's love life. Ivy has been a great support to Electra as she's dealt with one challenge after another in her relationship with Will. First, there was Luna, and now Electra is worried about her and Will's new roommate, Dylan. Ivy has tried to be supportive of Electra's relationship with Will. However, she isn't shy about voicing her concerns. While Ivy's protectiveness over Electra seems sweet, some fans are suspicious. On Reddit, a fan theory is floating around that Ivy and Electra could be more than aunt and niece. I remember years ago, Ivy was not so judgmental and just plain weird. Is it possible she is Electra's secret mom? The original poster asked. That would be one heck of a storyline of Ivy being Electra's mother, wrote one fan. However, one viewer isn't buying the theory. Electra is about 13 to 14 years younger than Ivy. It's unlikely that Ivy got pregnant at 13. Ivy and Electra being mother and daughter would be a huge twist and bring some soapy drama. As for whether B&B goes, this direction remains to be seen. But one thing that's certain is that Ivy's going to interfere in Electra and Will's relationship. After witnessing a close moment between Will and Dylan, Ivy takes matters into her own hands. She confronts Dylan and orders her to leave, which won't go as planned. Since Dylan won't listen to reason, Ivy has no choice but to tell Electra. Electra will have to decide who to believe, her aunt, her boyfriend, or her friend. One of Electra's relationships will be shattered by Ivy's confession. So, will Ivy and Electra's bond be broken forever? Or will Electra give Will the boot, leaving him available for Dylan? Sydney Bullock shared her hidden talent on The Bold and the Beautiful. Her alter ego, Dylan, revealed to Will that she's a ballet dancer. She performed a dance for him after Hayes went to bed. This leads Ivy to catch them in a compromising position. As for Bullock, she shares something in common with her co-star, Romy Parks, who also practices ballet in her free time. Dylan shared her love for dance with Will on the Wednesday, January 28th episode. Hayes asked her to perform a dance for both of them. Dylan claimed that it wouldn't be appropriate for that moment. However, she thought it would be more appropriate to dance alone for Will later, after Hayes went to bed. Later, Dylan entered the beach house in her ballet costume, while Will put on classical music. She performed a dance for him as he watched from the sofa. Dylan tripped over the sofa and onto Will's lap. He caught her, and the two were tempted to kiss. Meanwhile, Ivy watched them through the window as she said to herself, "It's not proper. It's not proper at all." B&B fans found out that Bullock shares something in common with her co-star Romy Parks, who plays Poppy. According to Bullock's 7 Things to Know, the actress loves contemporary dance. She's often practiced up to 20 hours per week. Bullock is an expert in modern dance, jazz, tap, and ballet. Park has shared her love for ballet on Instagram. 8 weeks ago, Park shared a series of photos and clips of herself rehearsing with her teacher. "When I'm not working, at the Grand Academy of Ballet offers serenity and beauty to balance the hustle and bustle of my life," Park wrote in the caption. Will Bullock's and Park's interest in ballet bring them together on B&B? It's highly unlikely. Dylan previously confessed that she ran down Luna, which led to her untimely death. That moment left her with guilt, shame, and trauma. Meanwhile, Poppy is relieved that her daughter is dead. But if Dylan's career as a teacher doesn't work out, she could become a ballet teacher or open a studio with Poppy. Do you think Poppy and Dylan should cross paths? Sound off below in the comments section. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Will Spencer Jr. will have a playdate with Ms. Dylan while his girlfriend is away. Electra Forrester is busy making boss moves in San Fran, and her boyfriend is home playing house with his roomie and Hayes Finnegan. Everyone involved can see that this is not going to end well. Will Spencer Jr. has been loyal and dedicated to Electra Forrester since they met last year. But is he the one Electra should actually be worried about? Dollar Bill and Katie Logan's son has been intrigued with the homeless art teacher that killed his baby mama with her can ever since she arrived on Electra's doorstep. He literally moved Ms. Dylan into his garage after knowing her for 24 hours. Since Dylan moved in, Will has been obsessed with playing Superman and helping her find a job and get her life back on track. Rumor has it, since the Forresters shut her down, Will is going to have his mom, Katie, hire Dylan at her new fashion company instead. It's interesting that he and Electra got together when he saved her, and now he is saving another girl. Electra Forrester has already threatened Ms. Dylan and ordered her to stay away from her boyfriend/landlord. She is so worried about Dylan seducing Will Spencer, Did she ever consider it could be the other way around? Viewers at home know that Electra's man keeps insisting they spend time together, even after his girlfriend forbade it. Electra is still dealing with some trust issues after her man was taken advantage of by Luna Nozawa. But she might be in for a shock in upcoming weeks. Is Will Spencer going to confess that he has feelings for Dylan, and it's not one-sided? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And don't forget to keep checking back here on Soap Opera Spy for more bold and the beautiful spoilers and updates.